DAKAR Rally is the most brutal race in the world. Nearly 5,000 miles throughout the endless dunes of Saudi Arabia, with less than 60% of drivers making it to the finish every year. It's a test of not just speed, but survival, where mechanical failures, brutal terrain, and pure exhaustion take out some of the best racers on the planet. Brock Heger grew up on the other side of the world in dunes of his own. Born and raised in Glamis, California, Brock's life has always been built around the sand, chasing speed and chasing competition. In 2025, he lined up for his first ever Dakar Rally and won it, shocking the industry and proving that he's no slouch behind his steering wheel. His calm and fearless approach to racing is what sets him apart. GYPSY gang, welcome Brock Heger to the podcast. We have the latest and greatest in the moto gaming experience with Monster Energy Supercross 2025, the official video game. Milestone, the studio behind the game, have rethought and redesigned some of the game's core mechanics from the ground up using Unreal Engine 5. This fresh and redefined experience is not only the best graphics and physics that gaming has to offer, but the collaboration with Monster Energy means that this is also the most immersive career, bike, and story experience. The ship has sailed for me, ever lining up at A1, so this is about as close as I'll ever come. The physics are totally new, built from scratch, ruts change throughout the races, and the AI actually adapts to how you ride. Not only that, the new career mode is addictive too. It's fully dynamic so that every season is different, and for the first time, they've packed in the full 2025 championship, including SMX, and we even have two strokes. Plus, it's full cross-play, so you can battle your mates no matter what platform they play. It really is amazing how good the gaming experience is right now. Monster Energy Supercross 2025 is in stores now on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS.
I met a gypsy.
You got me?
Yep, gotcha.
Perfect. I think we're good. Dude, so Glamis, how long you lived there?
Born and raised there.
Really?
So,
I've
yeah,
never met anyone that's born and raised from Glamis.
I'm on like the west side of Glamis.
Yeah.
There in town, and yeah, pretty much born and raised there. As much as I'm so close to it, so I don't go there often. It's not my, definitely my place to not go to.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. I mean, it's
pretty busy now.
It's pretty busy, so I try to stay out of there.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, I don't think I've ever met anyone that grew up there. I've been out there a few times, like filming and riding and all that sort of stuff. But
yeah, my dad
kind of explains the Polaris, like the RZR, like driving Baja, Dakar. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's a farmer for agricultural, so
yeah,
it's kind of why I'm down there. It's definitely not the best place to live, but certain months of the year to go and ride, it's my backyard, so
yeah,
it's fun.
What does your dad grow?
We grow everything. I mean, primarily our thing is produce, so broccoli, lettuce, cauliflower, the whole nine of that, and then it goes year round, so watermelons, potatoes, onions, cantaloupes, and then obviously all kinds of hay.
It's all grown like in ground, or you do greenhouse stuff? Or?
It's all on the ground. Yep.
Wow. I just would not have thought that was out there.
Yeah, so I mean, when I'm not driving or racing, I'm driving a tractor going super slow, so I think when I get to go out and race, it's always like, oh, I definitely don't want to go home and go super slow, so it's always fun being at the racetrack.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I feel like that explains a whole lot of what you do now, and yeah, like you kind of makes a lot of sense that you've just had that in your backyard your entire life.
Yeah, I mean, it's I live in a field essentially, so kind of growing up, always had tracks in the backyard, and then the desert's about 5 minutes from my house, and I can be out in open desert riding around, so it's definitely been fun, and kind of growing up, always kind of been into moto, but when I wanted to, maybe race or do anything, they're like, heck no. My parents put me in a cage and said, you're going to stay in a cage and you'll probably thank me later. So overall it's been fun, and yeah, obviously now with the Polaris RZR stuff and being able to go and race those, it's been fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's obviously a big agricultural area out there.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't think that from knowing like my view of Glamis is like crusty demons, steel roots. You know what I mean? So it's like the motorcycle, motocrosses, dirt, I guess buggy car perspective of Glamis is just not one of farming and agriculture and growing damn near everything out there.
Yeah, I mean it's right there. I mean, I think from town, it's 15 minutes from me, and yeah, I go there sometimes, but it seems like every time I go there, it's after it rains, which is always in the summer, and normally no one's there, and I'll go rip around, after it's rained and no one's there, so you kind of just do whatever.
Yeah, right. So what's the town of Glamis like?
I mean, Glamis doesn't have a town. It's
Yeah, okay.
It's
What would
obviously
El
Centro.
Centro, yeah.
There's Brawley. There's a few little towns around there, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's just a farm town essentially, and there's fields surrounding the town, and yeah, I mean, I pretty much rally around dirt roads every day in my pickup truck and do ag things, and yeah, not a ton to offer, outside of fields and dirt and desert, but yeah, I mean, it's fun. It was fun growing up there and being there, and it has its moments. It's definitely not a summer place that you enjoy hanging out at.
Yeah, yeah. So did you so you work the farm, that's kind of just, you think that's what you'll do? Like, have you ever lived away from there or?
Yeah, I mean, I try to work there as often as I can. Sometimes obviously the racing schedule gets busy and
Yeah.
kind of off doing that stuff, but if I'm not racing, I'm normally trying to work around the farm and help out wherever I can. And yeah, I mean, the past few months with kind of leading up to the Baja 1000 and Dakar and all the races we've had so far this year, it's been busy. So I haven't been on a tractor, which yeah, I mean, I can't complain. I'd definitely rather be racing and doing things like that. But yeah, my outside of racing life definitely consists a lot of going slow on a tractor.
Dude, that's just like a wild juxtaposition when you think about just like fully sending it in
Yeah.
Dakar and Baja, and then just like it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
2 miles an hour on the tractor.
Yeah, I know. It's like, you can go.
Chalk
Be
and
racing
cheese.
through the desert doing 118, through the middle of nowhere, and then yeah, I get to go home and do 1 mile an hour, 2 miles an hour, which nowadays you don't even have to steer it. You just turn on the auto track button and it steers itself. So I get to sit there and watch cool podcasts like yours.
Yeah, right. Have you watched the pod much before?
Yeah.
Sick.
I always try to watch them.
Oh, that's awesome. So I know a ton of farm boys that end up doing pretty much what you're doing. Like Toby Price,
Yeah.
full farm boy. Daniel Sanders grew up on an apple farm. Like, it's a pretty epic place to grow up and end up kind of doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously fun growing up around it, but yeah, I don't know. I apparently maybe it's not fun enough because like Toby and everyone, we all want to drive and race cars and whatnot. So it's yeah, I don't know if that's why we're so
Well, I think it's just
eager to try to go out and do good and win races and try to race the most we can, just so we can stay out of the tractor. But overall, I mean, I wouldn't replace everything I've done for anything.
Yeah, but I think it's more just like where you grow up and how you grow up. And you got so much space, you got so much dirt road. You've probably been in a car since you were 4 or 5 years old, driving around, sliding, skidding.
Yeah.
Like, there's not that much to do. But when you've got motorbikes and cars and side-by-sides, you kind of have just free reign to do what so many other kids would never, ever get the chance to do,
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of growing up around the farm. It's you do everything at a lot sooner age. I mean, you can drive tractors down the highway before you even get your license. And I always used to tell my parents, like, why do you guys have to take me to school? Like, I'll just drive the tractor to school and you guys don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of free range, and you get access to doing things, a lot sooner than you normally would.
So is there actual laws that if you're in a tractor, you don't need a license to drive a tractor, but you could drive the tractor on the road?
Yeah.
So there's essentially like a hack to getting around having a license and driving.
Yeah. I don't know the exact age, but I do want to say I don't think they'll ever question it. But
nah, they wouldn't.
I want to say it's like 13 or something is maybe what they would say. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of done it my whole life of driving along the highway in a
no one's gonna
oversized tractor and stuff that you probably, you would say, oh, maybe you should need a license for this. But yeah.
That's such a sick way to grow up, dude.
Yeah.
So did you ride your whole life?
Yeah. I mean, I still try to ride, as much as I can, and if I'm not doing that, then I'm, in a Polaris RZR trying to rip around and try to be better with myself, whether it's driving techniques, trying to be better, or just, I mean, where I'm from, I can drive my RZR through the desert and go to dinner or stuff like that. So sometimes it's just for fun to go and grab some lunch or dinner, and back home I go.
So what's the bike of choice for you these days?
I have an old 450 Honda.
Yeah, what year?
It's like a Gen 1. It's an X.
Yeah, right.
09.
Yeah.
And it's
a good bike.
It's definitely a tank, but it's kind of set up for the desert. I actually got it from Johnny Campbell years back, and haven't been able to replace it.
Yeah, okay. But that's like Old Faithful. That's like the Glamis. That's the Glamis beater.
Yeah, I mean, actually just blew it up, so
oh no,
she's not too Old Faithful, but she's coming back together. And
what'd you do? Like do the bottom end or something on it, or
yeah.
How'd it go?
It's seized, so it's all junk. It didn't help. I mean, I was out on a ride with my manager, and I was riding back home because he obviously came from San Diego and loaded up his bike. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna ride home.
So you're
and
I
was like on the pavement, almost home, and it started making noises. So I grab up my phone, I'm videoing it, like, oh, this ain't gonna be good. And sure enough, I almost made it back, and she quit.
The worst.
Yeah.
How expensive has that been?
It's getting pricey. Where I'm like, I should just get a new bike. Maybe it's time.
What would you get?
I'd probably get like the new 450. Actually, I want a 450 RL with plates and everything, so I can kind of.
Yeah.
There's some trails up, Ocotillo Wells area that they kind of say should be plated to ride around. So I've kind of wanted to kind of explore that venture.
Yeah. Do you do much dual sport riding around the area other than like Glamis, or not really?
Not really. I mean, I'm on the west side of the valley, so like for me, I go like Ocotillo Wells or Ocotillo, Superstition, Plaza City. That's kind of all closer to me. So mainly just kind of ride around there. There isn't like the coolest single track or dual sport trails. So I know as you kind of come up the hill closer here to San Diego, there's some pretty cool trails I've heard people go and ride, and I want to try to venture and try that out one day.
Yeah, I'm trying to plan a bit of a ride in the next couple of days. Well, I'm probably going to go next weekend, but I've just never do any dual sport riding around here. So I'm like half thinking about going Big Bear kind of area, like up and around there. But I know McGrath rides a bunch in San Diego, and a ton of the boys run around there. But I'm just like, I just don't fully know where to go. I want to do one night in a hotel somewhere, like just go to a little shitty town, stay in a shitty motel. Yeah. But just don't know the areas yet. So if you got any recommendations, I'm all ears at the moment.
No, I wish my co-driver Max was here because he
knows all the spots.
Yeah, he lives in Barstow. And
that's
he'll go up and ride a lot around Big Bear and all that stuff. And he's got some pretty
I might
cool
need to hit him
tracks.
up. Yeah. So he couldn't be here. He was supposed to be here today.
Yeah.
But he's a lineman on double time. There was an earthquake yesterday, so
he's
getting the bread.
Busy.
Yeah. How did you guys first link up?
Yeah, I mean it started with the whole Polaris factory racing team. He was kind of around it, driving another car, and kind of got to know him really well the past few years with trying to develop that Polaris RZR to what it is now as our race car. And yeah, I mean, the whole Dakar thing got brought up about, me going and driving, and he's been a few times as a co-rider, so just felt like a good fit. Some people were like, "Oh no, you got to get a crazy co-driver that does it every year from back there," and I had a lot of people saying like, "Hey, you're with him for days and days, so like you want to be comfortable." So he kind of fit the best option and best seat, and yeah, we obviously got to know each other pretty well. Spending 13, 14 days with him straight at Dakar, and yeah, we had a lot of fun.
He races Dakar. He's raced Supercross before, from what I know, or he's may have raced a Supercross or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know Supercross. I know he
does Baja for sure,
yep,
right?
He used to ride Baja on a motorcycle for years and years. I think he's overalled a lot of the Baja 1000 and a lot of the big Baja races. But yeah, he's an older guy. I think his son's my age.
Yeah,
he was
right.
starting to race, and yeah, he's kind of set down the bike on the racing side and been driving a car with us in the team.
So yeah, that and the first time you guys really ever did anything together was Dakar.
Yep, correct.
Wow. So you just went straight in, 14 days.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how we go.
Yeah, I mean, he's been part of the help with developing the Polaris RZR race cars, and yeah, like I said, we got to know each other through that process, and then yeah, we just went for it at Dakar. I've never been, which was pretty crazy, going to try to compete at that big of a race, never kind of going, and a late notice. So we just took every day, day by day, and just tried to learn and be better as a group. And yeah, we had a good result.
Yeah, crazy result.
Yeah.
Just win?
We did win, yeah. I think by an hour and a half or 2 hours.
That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, which it could end, it could end like nothing. I mean, if our last few days, they called empty quarters, where you're in the middle of nowhere in the dunes, which, we race in dunes that all you see all day is dunes after dunes. So like now, like when I go to Glamis or come home, it's like Glamis is so tiny, like the things that we went around it was pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, it was a long venture, and it could end. I mean, we could lose the axle or lose a front diff and never be able to make it up the next dune, and it's over. So
what do you do with the car if the car shits itself or the Polaris shits itself in the middle of the desert and you can't get up?
I don't know. I don't know what they would do. I know a lot of people stayed the night.
Yeah.
And I think people will bring in parts and you just got to fix it to get out of there. But
what a nightmare.
I'm glad we never had to spend the night, because we would never got a good result.
Yeah, it's crazy. I used to live over there in Dubai.
Oh, wow.
So I spent like tons of time in the dunes. And I remember when you go out we went out kind of past Abu Dhabi. It's like basically on the border of Saudi. And dudes, the dunes, like the first time I went out there, like you go past Liwa and you go past like all those crazy, bro, like 10 times bigger than Glamis.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, I don't know, you'd probably know better than me, but like just ridiculous.
Yeah.
How big and endless it is.
It's endless. I mean, if we went days and days of just, we don't ever go back to the same course or loop that we've done. So, I mean, we went days and days of just new desert, new dunes. Yeah, nothing like I've ever seen. I mean, I'm from a small town, which I call it Farmville, because that's all it kind of is, and you kind of get to town, each side of the town, in 10, 15 minutes, and yeah, we got Glamis. That's about it.
Yeah, but over there, it's just like a completely different scope, different scale.
Yeah.
And, like I would always think, man, what would happen if like Berriman Axel, like those guys got out there with,
Yeah,
a,
it'd be
with a
gnarly.
helicopter,
Yeah.
free reign to just do and go wherever. But it honestly might even be too big.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even know. It might be too much.
yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty endless there. I mean, you could go anywhere, do anything there. I mean, racing along and whatnot. It's just like you know, like say those guys like, oh, they could double that, you know, and it's just endless the amount of things that they could probably do there. But I mean, I think Glamis, it's kind of there's a lot of options there too, and it obviously shows with the stuff they've been able to create there.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you first get into the side-by-side stuff?
Yeah, I mean it all started. I used to race like short course off road, and I actually raced with Jeremy McGrath under his tent,
Ah,
and I was in
right.
a truck, and then yeah, I was already at the races in a truck, and they kind of brought in the side by side stuff into the series, so I got an opportunity to race a side by side in the series, so it's pretty much how I got started, and that was all under Jeremy's tent, and then
How'd you know Jeremy, or how'd that happen?
It's just kind of a friend of a friend, kind of put it together, and then yeah, I was able to race under his tent for I think 3 or 4 years, and then the series was kind of shut down, so he stopped racing, and then I kept doing the short course stuff on my own, and then yeah, with the past few years, you know, players came to me with a cool opportunity with the new team that they were creating and developing the car, and yeah, I just kind of put all my own stuff on hold and for sale, and just been attacking the Polaris RZR program and trying to make it the best it can be, and develop the fastest car that there is.
So how did you get into it before that though? Like your dad was into it, or your dad got you into it, or like how did you even kind of get into it initially?
Yeah, initially, I was 8 years old, and you know, my dad did a little bit of racing, nothing super serious, and then it was just kind of a friend was racing, you know, at the time, which was the Lucas Oil Off-Road Series for short course, and yeah, I got into it when I was young, and obviously just raced short course majority of my life, and just kind of progressed through the classes, and then yeah, I think around 2017 is when I started racing more desert stuff, and I raced it in a Class 10 buggy, did that for 2 years, and then I got into a trophy truck spec, and I raced that for about 4 to 5 years, and then yeah, the Polaris thing came about, which um, that's kind of, you know, the starting point nowadays to getting into desert racing. I mean, you see like Jeremy's daughter is obviously racing UTVs and whatnot, but it's, you know, you can go to the dealership, same dealership, you know, most of the time you can go buy your motorcycle and yeah, do a few things just to be able to pass tech and pretty much race any series that there are for it. There's not a It's not like Supercross. You got to have a certain licensing or a certain amount of time. So you can kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, someone that's never raced before can literally come race my same exact class.
Yeah, that's cool, eh?
Yeah.
Was it hard to go from the truck, because you'd kind of like progress through the ranks to like the bigger trucks, to then almost, it's like not a backward step, but in terms of like size and power, it probably is in a way. What was it hard to kind of go backwards?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, you know, went backwards in that sense of things. But no, I mean, it wasn't bad. It's, you know, I've kind of grown up with UTVs and driving them as they've progressed. I mean, when I was racing the truck, I would, you know, pre-run the race course in my
Yeah.
UTV. So, like, obviously, I'm
Yeah.
super familiar with them. And
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and New Year's and Christmas, like going out to the desert, I would still drive them. So, definitely was around them the whole time, but it was a little challenging at first, trying to race them, just trying to find their limit of, you know, what they're capable of and what they're not. You know, a trophy truck is, you know, pretty
Pretty much
darn
can do
capable.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, at first with the Polaris RZR stuff, it was just like, you know, what can they do? And yeah, I think to this day, I'm still going out there and just trying to see, you know, how capable they are, and I think a lot of that has to show with the results and being able to do good these past few years, and just trying to make that vehicle as good as it can be to, hopefully go overall a race and go beat the trophy trucks.
Yeah, right. Do you think that there's a day that you'll be able to beat a trophy truck in a Polaris?
I don't know. I think right now, no, but I do think we just got to kind of build a few different little parts, and I think, the bang for your buck, I think we can definitely try to go and compete with them. I mean, a modern day trophy truck's $1.5 million, and these Polaris RZRs are, a stock one's 45, and I think our race cars that they're selling are 140,000. So I think for the price point,
of the price.
I think we can get pretty darn close.
We need to bring you a quick word from our sponsor, motorsport.com. I got a YZ450F that I got some upgrades to do. You know exactly where I'm going. I'm going to need some help with customer service, so I'm going to chat with a gearhead. This box showed up. It has a 2007 KTM master cylinder, a Yamaha caliper, also 2007, and a Turner braided brake lines. I feel like this is a very good upgrade for $600. Need the old hanger, so we're gonna put a bit of grease on that and get it back on, bolt her up. Caliper has been done. Now this can just get bolted on. Now, shout out to Kiefer, who I think stole this off Doug Dubark. That was easy. Nah, that was easy. This is a pretty epic upgrade. You can get OEM parts to build this little Frankenstein brake kit, or basically anything else for any brand by going to motorsport.com. How much better are the race ones than like a stock one? Because the stock ones are pretty gnarly, but obviously you guys, it's the same as like a stock 450. You start bolting some good shit on it, and the capabilities start to climb,
Yeah, I mean they're relative. It's like, moto. You obviously you go put some better shocks on it, and it's gonna do certain things better. But it just does everything better and faster. Essentially, there's nothing like a stock one can't do that we're not doing. It's just as capable. But I know like the race car, the race car I drive every race, they're selling them as the exact same form as what I race. So I think you kind of get a lot more of what we've learned and what our shock setups are. I mean, it'd be like, a B or C rider being able to ride Eli's bike with the best of everything. If he can go and buy it for not a super gnarly price, he's gonna, at least can't sit there and blame the bike or the equipment that they don't have the right things. So it's cool that Polaris is obviously doing it. I think when essentially the cars that I've helped, develop, I think when it starts beating me, I'm going to be like, oh, this is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
But for now it's cool, and it's, I mean, it's just going to make me want to try to make the car as good as it can be, and try to make it better than what they're getting.
Did you have the sense when you jumped out of the trophy truck into the Polaris that things were happening slower and you really could get like the maximum out of it? So like let's say if I started in a Polaris, I just decide I want to race. I'm starting from the bottom and trying to like work myself to the limit. Was it kind of you coming from over the limit and having to work yourself backwards in terms of just like the speed that you figured you'd be able to do shit at?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had to slow everything down because you're kind of going a little slower than I was, so you see things a lot different. But then at the same time in the trophy truck, you're blitzing things, doing 100 plus miles an hour that you can't really see what you're hitting because the hood's so big and everything. So like you don't really know what you're hitting, but it just goes through it.
Yeah. It's just a lot of like
so you get
spray
used
and pray
to that, and then now as you go back and the cars are a lot smaller. You can see a lot more. It might not hit certain things as fast as you have in a trophy truck. So you're kind of having to relearn, like, okay, what can I really do in it? You gotta be smart with it. But they've came a long ways. I mean, I think every race, it's just kind of blows me away what they can do. Even like the stock ones. I mean, the whole UTV industry it's
pretty wild.
Came
a
long ways.
Yeah.
And I think that's what keeps me out of Glamis, because I know what they can do in their stock form. And Glamis gets wild, so I would prefer to stay away.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. So
I guess kind of how moto guys probably feel about UTV guys. They're like, heck no, I don't want to
even
ride around these guys. These things are way too fast and
even
sketchy.
Just going to like Glen Helen or Parla,
and
you're on the vet track and there's like 300 dudes with 450s, and you're just like, this is a lot. There's a lot going on here. So how long have you been doing the Polaris thing now?
I'm going on year 3.
How much better have they got in 3 years?
A lot better. I mean,
crazy,
I was the first one to drive like their race car form of what Polaris has made. So, I mean, at the beginning, I was like, I would rather race a stock car. I think it's better, So
really,
yeah. I mean,
What was better about, or like what was worse maybe about the race one?
We just shock stuff was different. I think the chassis changed a little bit. I think they're a little stiffer, so just trying to get them to work good was tough. And nowadays, I mean, I think at the Baja 1000, I soloed it. I drove the entire thing myself, never split it with another driver. Normally, nowadays, people will do it, but I got 5th overall against, all the trophy trucks, everything. So
dude,
they're coming, a long ways.
That's mental, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to try and solo the Baja 1000 because it's not something that's commonly done, in a competitive way. And just with the team, it wasn't really working out trying to find someone to drive. So they kind of gave me the option, like, hey, I know you want to do it. Do you want to do it? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'll do it, but I don't want to do it just to say I've done it and finished 20th place. So yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna put my best foot forward, and I wanna go and compete and do it, which it worked out. I think this year we won by a pretty good margin. And I don't know, I've been kicking it around whether I try to do it again come November, because that's when the Baja 1000 is, or stop while I'm ahead there.
Yeah, how hard was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I think it was 26 hours is what that race took. So, yeah, I mean, it was 26 hours of going for it, which was gnarly. The worst part was the following morning, as we're coming in to finish, it started raining. So wasn't really prepared. I mean, I don't get to get out and like, oh yeah, let me layer up on some jackets. So
you were freezing.
It was miserable, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That would have been gnarly, bro. 25, 24 hours in, pissing down rain, 100 miles an hour, freezing cold.
Yeah, I mean, I think if, I attempt it again, I'm definitely going to try to prepare for it a lot better, whether it's some heated seats or heated jackets or vest or something, but it was definitely miserable. Luckily, the last 150 miles is when it started raining and was cold, and there's snow sitting around on the ground. At that point, I mean, I just raced, tons of miles, and I'm down to the last 100. Like, yeah, I can make it. I'm not gonna let that make me get out or anything. And luckily, we were leading our class, so kind of made that go by a little easy.
Dude, that's insane. I actually didn't know that you soloed that.
Yeah, I mean,
so you can suffer.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
you're the most unassuming dude.
Yeah.
Some of you guys are like that. Like, Wuda, the dude that soloed it on the old KTM.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like the quietest, most unassuming, humble dude. And he's just like an actual fucking psychopath. And you're given the same vibe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm normally pretty quiet, and I just enjoy what I'm doing, and yeah, I just like to put my head down and keep going.
Where's that come from?
Don't know. I mean, Jeremy and everyone, back when we were racing short course, which that's a pretty intensive form of racing.
Yeah,
You're hitting each
yeah.
other, taking each other out, but they always used to joke. They're like, dude, you need to put like a heartbeat monitor on. Like, is your heart even pumping, at this rate? But yeah, I've just kind of been that way my whole life. And
Yeah, you're so fucking chill. It's insane.
yeah,
For a dude that does super crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, I just always looking, forward to the next race, and trying to put my best foot forward, and trying to go out there and compete. And yeah, hopefully one day it opens up doors and maybe do other forms of racing.
When did you know in your life that you were just like a little silent killer?
I don't know. I still don't think I've maybe realized it.
You are.
I just,
But like
I
when
just,
people are telling you like, dude, you're so quiet and like gnarly at what you do, like what do you think? I guess like you're normal to yourself, but like you are very chill and stoic and like level for a dude that does a super crazy thing, going like as fast as you can. Like it's a pretty cool mix of things that you don't often see together,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really like think about the way I go about things or what I've been able to accomplish. I think I'm just focused on wanting to keep on racing for as long as I can. And yeah, I'm sure when the day comes to an end and I'm done, then it'll probably all kind of sit in and I'll realize it, and maybe be a little more outspoken about it.
But right now you're just all business.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to race and go out there and compete, and yeah, try to do the best I can do.
What do you like about racing? Like, why has it been something that you've always been drawn to?
I mean, I've done it my whole life, and yeah, I mean, I just like competing. I think everything I do, it seems like it's always a race or a competition. Whether it's driving on the freeway here, it's like, oh no, I'm gonna hop in the fast lane, and yeah, I want to motor down the road. So I think it's just kind of the mentality I've always had is, yeah, I just enjoy racing, and I love competing, and love getting the the red dot point on your back, because people are wanting to beat you and think that you may fold to pressure, and I just like proving people wrong.
Yeah, like pressure is a privilege kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Are you super competitive in like everything else that you do? Like
Yeah.
video
for the most
games? Like
part.
do you ever like play video games, chess, like any of that sort of shit?
No, not really. I mean, don't play chess or none of that. But yeah, I mean, I would say everything's for the most part for me is pretty competitive. Whether it's driving a tractor in the field and there's another worker next to me driving the same thing, like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna finish this before you. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of born and raised that way.
Are you the kind of guy that just loves going really fast?
Yeah, I do.
So like on a moto, you're just like fifth gear, fucking do, and it just feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I try to stay off a motorcycle as nowadays, as much as I can, but I obviously still enjoy riding it. And yeah, it's hard for me to go putt around on a motorcycle and just ride around. It always seems like I ended up just pinned, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. Like, I might have a race next weekend and I should make it to that race. So it's kind of, I guess, why maybe I'm attacking the more enduro or trail riding scene, because it seems like a little more slower, kind of cruise around pace. So yeah, I mean, I like to go fast, whether it's in my razor, on my motorcycle, anything in between.
So how do you feel about like the feeling of fear when you're sending it? Like, what's fear and you? How do they go together?
Don't know. Don't really
You're not scared?
not fear anything.
So you don't feel like, so when you're just completely wide open, set of Baja whoops in a Polaris RZR, no, you're not scared? There's not like that feeling of fear?
No, not really. I mean, you have your moments obviously in a race where you're like, whoa, that was a close one. But yeah, never. I don't really, not afraid to go fast, and I'm always down to pinning it and going for it.
Yeah, that's a gift. I don't
Yeah.
have that. I get
Yeah.
scared. I get scared. I'm just not the kind of guy. Like the whole time, like I'll do a trip this year and we'll go up to like ride to the very tip of Australia, we'll ride dual sports. And there's times where you're just like wide open. And the whole time I'm just like, fuck. Like I'm on red alert that something's going to go wrong. Like I'm kind of scared the whole time. And I'm like doing it because I got to keep up with everyone else. But I'm pretty uncomfortable the whole time and like kind of tripping and worried that something bad's going to happen. And I feel like if I was in a trophy truck, I'd be lifting off the pedal anytime shit stepped out. Like, so there's obviously a different thing going on with you where it's like, that's just not the experience that you're feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have a few screws left, or loose, but I mean, I've grown up in a car. You're super safe. So like obviously going for it. It's like I'm in a seat. I've got seatbelts going everywhere. I'm in a cage. So I mean, obviously a lot bad could happen, but also I mean, it's kind of the sport I signed up for, which is going fast and going through the unknown of the desert and trying to go as fast as you can. So I think, yeah, I mean, I signed up to do it and I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's just like, that's obviously, Toby's the same, right? Like I've spent a lot of time around Toby and some of the shit he does, I'm just like, brother, like you're not okay. You're not normal. This isn't fine. What you're doing you shouldn't be doing it. But just like sight unseen, wide open. Like, have you ever seen the footage of him racing the Fink on the bike?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, motoring, yeah.
Fucking wedged.
Yeah.
Like fully, he'd like rolling his hand back on the throttle so that when his bike is wide open, he's just like this. There's no...
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude, not cool, man. Like, this is so on a not human level. And then you see him in a trophy truck. He's the same.
Same way.
Same deal. Just pinned, man. Like, fucking pinned. But I wonder, I wonder if there's some kind of thing in the brain where it's like, maybe it's, because you just have been doing it your whole life and your brain's just so used to processing things coming at you so much faster than a normal person that it's like when the alarm bells start ringing in my head, they're just not ringing in the same way. And then it makes the experience of racing a car or a truck or a Polaris that much more enjoyable because you're not tripping the whole time. Like it can feel fun, but I just always find it so interesting as a guy that just doesn't have that gear. And I wish I did.
Yeah, I mean, I think when, the bell starts ticking of like, uh-oh, this ain't good, I shouldn't be doing this, it's normally not
Too
a
late.
good outcome, and you're going to do everything you can to save it. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's just I've kind of grown up just pinning it my whole life, and yeah, I mean, I just every race, it's just trying to be better and essentially just keep on pinning it.
Yeah. No, it's fucking sick.
Yeah.
It's just cool that guys like you exist.
Yeah, I mean,
in that way.
yeah, I mean, it's like anything, like moto, and you got Eli and all these guys,
the same
like
thing,
they just freaking cork it and don't care.
Yeah.
Which even like, Tyler Behrman and Axel, like they'll go send massive things and not have a worry in the world, which it's just, yeah, I mean, it's just everyone's kind of wired a little different, and it's been fun.
How many of your New Year's resolutions have you been able to keep so far? I've been able to keep on track with my daily nutrition habits, as I'm still starting off each and every morning with AG1, the same way I have for years. 1 scoop a day, or one of the convenient travel packs when I'm away at the races, make it really easy to stay on track with my health goals. For me, the benefits of taking AG1 every day are super clear. Firstly, it just sets the day off on the right foot. Secondly, after years of taking AG1, I know how good it is for my digestion and overall gut health. My skin is clearer and my hair and nails are healthier. I love that AG1 is NSF certified for sport, meaning it's been independently tested for quality. When it comes to my health, I want something I can trust, and that's why I've been partnering with AG1 for so long. And AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure you check out drinkag1.com/gypsytales to start your new year on a healthier note. So when was the first time, did you think when you were racing short course that you would end up doing the Baja stuff? Or like, what did your career path like in your mind look like?
Yeah, I mean, I assumed at some point, you know, growing up racing short course and doing that things, I assumed at some point it would kind of lead into doing Baja, more desert stuff, especially with the main short course series kind of shutting down. And
Why did that shut down?
don't know, they just kind of
Fizzled
on
out.
interest, just didn't really care about it much more. And yeah, I mean, it kind of sucked for that aspect of racing.
It was pretty sick
There
though.
is, yeah, I mean, there is a few other options, just never as big, and nothing here in California or anything. So, yeah, I just got an opportunity to go and race desert. Kind of looked up to a lot of guys that have done it, like your Bryce Menzies and, you know, those guys that have been racing desert and whatnot and trophy trucks forever. And yeah, I always wanted to go and race it, so just kind of got myself into it, and kind of obviously worked my way up through the classes a little bit, and then, you know, back down and racing with Polaris and trying to, you know, help grow that brand and get people to gain interest in being able to go race, you know, those type of races that people may think are, you know, so super hard to get to, but I think with UTVs nowadays, it's, you know, it's the easiest and best way you can kind of start racing that stuff.
So what would be, let's say me, right? I get a Polaris. What's the Polaris I should get?
It's a Polaris Pro R, which is their top model, and yeah, you go get that, and then you're gonna obviously read the rule book for whatever kind of series you want to go, which mainly it's just safety stuff, so you're gonna have to put a cage and window nets.
I'm skipping that.
And seats and that stuff, and then yeah, I mean, you literally go enter the race. And
So what race would I do? What's like the best first race to enter?
probably something in the US, just because it's close and easy. Yeah, I mean, it can be any. There's, you know, you just pick the nearest one that you want to go race.
What's like living in California, like what would I go do? What would be the easiest, funnest one that I could do from here?
They just had a race in Laughlin. It's like a 2-day event. It's about like 70 miles each day. And it's just kind of a lap race, so it's super easy to go and do. So you can do that, or you can go do like the Mint 400, which is out of Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to show up on a Thursday, and then you're going to go through tech, and then, yeah, off you go racing.
That's pretty wild. That
you come race me.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Just how many different classes are there? Or like, would all the buggies go, or the UTVs go in the same class?
They kind of separate everyone, like,
because I'd be in like the
in.
shittest class, right?
No, I mean, you're getting a Polaris Pro R, which is what I race.
So there's no slow.
You get to come race me.
So there's no slow people. Like, there's no C grade.
Oh, there is.
Okay,
That's
so I
for
could
sure.
be in like the slowest grade.
Yeah.
It doesn't go on ability. It goes on vehicle, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few classes within UTVs, and it's all a matter of how safe you make them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you could come race my same class, as racing with the C class,
Yeah.
guys. So it's just kind of up to what you want to do, and if you want to come race me, you can come race my class. If you want to race a little bit lower class and maybe go for a win, then you can do that too.
What do you think? I couldn't.
I think you could do
think I
good,
couldn't
but
win?
I think
I'm playing. There's no
you
way.
put
There's
a
no
lot
way.
into
There's
it.
no way I'm beating you.
You might. You never know.
That's pretty sick. That's just a thing that people can go and do. Because I'm pretty, I guess, oblivious. Like, I guess I know a bit about. I would know more about like the trophy truck side of things.
Yeah.
I guess, just through like with Toby, and those guys like Paul and the Team Oz guys. So
Yeah,
I guess I
mean,
know a little bit more about the trophy truck side, but I just wasn't aware that it was that easy to go and race you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar in a trophy truck. I mean, you could go spend $1 million and go race Toby, but
Isn't it insane
yeah,
how much money those guys spent to go race?
yeah. I mean,
And there's no
they're
way to make it
racing
back.
the fastest thing that you could race through the desert. So
And they always
just
break.
cool. Yeah, they have terrible luck. I think, what was it, last year they burnt one down to the ground
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
and had to go buy another one, give it a whack, which is just crazy. I mean, they're obviously super dedicated and want to race and go out there and compete.
Yeah, but I just mean like even trophy trucks in general just always break. It feels like.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I mean, they could be a little time bomb sometimes.
Oh, for the amount of money that you spend on those things, they are always broken. And the amount that they need to be rebuilt, like it's pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, we're not racing down pavement, so it's kind of like you're literally bashing it for hours on end, through things that maybe you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be going over 4 or 5 foot whoops trying to do 100.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, I think
the nature of the
everyone's
beast.
just
There's a limit.
You're pushing things, to their limit, and it's just a matter of trying to make them last.
Yeah, yeah. So how many times a year are you getting to race?
I race. What I race? 8 times a year. I
Yeah.
get a race.
Yeah.
So, not a ton. I wish I could race often, but yeah. I mean, within the past few months, I've raced about 5 times. In the past 4 months. So, it kind of takes a little break in the summer, which it gets hot, and I think a lot of the race organizations, they want to try to keep everyone cooled down, and a lot of the series' moto guys race, so trying to make it kind of easy for everyone, or easier, and not send people in 120-degree desert and say have fun for hours.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
it's just gonna be a nightmare. But yeah, I mean, it would be fun to race a lot more, but yeah, that's all I get to do.
It's a shame that the short course off-road stuff died out the way that it did, because I mean, at one point you had Twitch, you had Deegan, you had McGrath. Like, it was definitely a pumping scene. It just seems crazy that it kind of went away the way that it did.
Yeah, I mean, Twitch was out at King of the Hammers. He was there with Polaris, and
Yeah, yeah.
I was taking him on rides and stuff, and we were talking about it. Like, we used to have to qualify and then race, like Moto, have an LCQ just to get into the main events back then racing. And
It was on like Mad
nowadays,
TV.
I mean,
It was pretty much everywhere.
you can barely kind of get car counts, and yeah, not as big as it definitely used to be.
What do you think happened? It just got too expensive. There wasn't enough like funding. Because I think that's always kind of the crazy thing about the trophy truck deal, is that you just kind of can't make your money back. Like, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but there is nobody that's making money racing trophy trucks.
Oh, 100% not. I mean, it's
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean, it's expensive, and like a trophy truck, there's not really any manufacturer to support it.
Yep.
It's a completely custom uh, beast on its own, and that's kind of why I went back into the UTVs, because there is a handful of manufacturers that are building cars and supporting them racing, and luckily I was able to get in with Polaris and be a part of that, and for me in my future, that was kind of the best route, just because there is a handful of brands competing out there.
Yeah, and I think that's obviously why the scene in the UTV space has become more sustainable, is because, yeah, a dude like me can go and buy it and race it, and it's like way more attainable. And then, yeah, you've got manufacturers that are trying to prove that they have the best machine, and you get that win on Sunday, sell on Monday type of deal that the motorsports industry was kind of built on. It's a pretty smart decision that you made at the time to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the closest, like Supercross. I mean, you have all these brands trying to say that their bike's better than the other bike, and with UTVs, there's a handful of brands that are eager to go race, and they all want to win. So yeah, it makes it fun, obviously, having that competitiveness, which UTVs are pretty open. I know you can kind of make big swings at changing the car and doing things, and still go out there and race, against another manufacturer. So it's not like a motorcycle where it has to be, a certain length and certain width, and kind of minorly change things. I mean, they could come out with a trophy truck tomorrow, and yeah, they're probably going to kick it from the class and make it race another one. But for the most part, it's pretty open on that side of things to try to progress it, that you could still go out there and race.
And how much better do you think that they can get, staying in like the modern form of what would be like a UTV? Like, there's a point where it's like, okay, now it's a trophy truck.
Yeah, I mean, I think there could be still a little room for improvement, but I think that's, they're almost to the battle of like going away from the terms of UTV. So I think that's kind of the battle of what they're after, of trying to make them too expensive. I mean, at some point, I mean, they can go put a $500,000 price tag on a car and make it a $500,000 car, but they're not going to sell as often as a $45,000 car would. So I think they're at that that tipping point of trying to find what's too much. But based off the general platform, I think there still is a little room for improvement. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm out there doing, is just trying to race it and figure out maybe what could be better, and do it.
So how much feedback do you have in the development?
I mean, I have feedback on every time I drive it, of maybe where I think could be better. And yeah, I mean, there's times I go drive, we're testing stuff, and it's really like, hey, go break it, if you can. So obviously doing things like that.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I don't get to do it as much as I would like, because
Yeah.
not often you get the keys to something. They're like, hey, go drive it and go break it, which is always fun, especially when you are given ride-alongs to people that, haven't really ridden in that stuff, and like, hey, yeah, go blow their mind, So stuff like that's always fun.
Yeah. So what's some of the feedback that you've given that has been like implemented over the years into the stock car?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of shock stuff is kind of what we've been after. Fox Shocks makes a live valve setup, so we have technically four modes of different shock setups, and it's like a button on our steering wheel that we can change between the modes.
No way.
So it like changes compression, rebound, and everything. And then with Polaris, they have like gyro in them essentially, and it takes G's and steering input and gas and brake inputs, and changes different corners of the shocks in the car. So
Really?
yeah, they're you know, and sway bars. I mean, we can disconnect our sway bar, or they have a live function, so it's doing everything how we tune it to be. So it's a ongoing battle of tuning a bunch of essentially live shocks, and to try to make them perform, the best that they can perform.
How new is that? How recent is that development?
It's probably been about like 4 or 5 years. The trophy truck guys are starting to run it a lot more.
So this is even more ahead of trophy trucks.
Yeah, I mean, I would say a lot of the brands have them in their cars. You can buy them stock. To kind of put on your trophy truck, it's a big expense to do it. Not everyone has done it yet, but there are, a lot of the top guys doing it, and it's just, you have different suspension modes, and it changes compression and rebound, and
So
not
like,
only
what
that,
would
you
be
have a pucker button. So if you see a big OG out and realize like, oh crap, you can just hit the button and it's gonna fully stiffen the whole car.
No
You
way,
can go through
dude.
it. Yep.
That's wild. So what are some of the other, I guess, circumstances where you would change the modes of the car?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm pretty active on it, constantly changing it. So, like how a stock car is set up, they have like a comfort mode. So that's obviously your softest kind of mode, and then they have like a rock mode. So when you get into rocks, it does certain different things to try
And
to
what does that
help.
do? Just like really speed the rebound up or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of how you tune it, and then they have like two other separate, like Baja mode and a track mode. So, um, our race cars pretty much, they only have one mode that's different, which is a track mode. So it's just take corners better, and with that, it obviously it changes the shocks and trying to cornering better, and then not only that, it changes the sway bars to try to take corners better, and then all of our other modes are just progressive stiffness modes.
So what's the sway bars doing?
They're obviously a sway bar is what kind of helps hold the car up, so when you corner, it doesn't lean over way too much or anything. So it kind of helps the car keep it more neutral.
Yeah.
And then obviously with the live sway bars, it's kind of essentially compression, so it's how far you're allowing it to kind of move,
Like essentially like
or
body roll kind of.
yeah, it's all body
Yeah.
roll is what sway bars. So it's just kind of controlling that side of things, to how we tune it, whether at certain moments in a certain mode we wanted to body roll more, or if we wanted to firm up and not body roll much.
Yeah, right. Dude, that's I had no idea about any of
Yeah,
this.
yeah. There's a lot of shock technology that's going into off-road racing, and yeah, I'm sure at some point they're gonna take my steering wheel and I'm not gonna be able to drive it. So I'm just gonna keep pinning it while I can.
So, yeah, so you got all the adjustment of the suspension. What about on the motor setup? Like how fast are these things? Are you like, is it paddle shift? Like you're manually going through the gearbox the whole time?
Polaris's they don't have shifting capacity, or yeah, I mean they don't shift.
So it's just auto.
Yeah, I mean they're some of the other brands do have shifting, but Polaris, it's belt driven, so we don't get a shift or anything. And yeah, I mean
So all the gears are internal in the
it's
gearbox.
a clutch. Yeah, it has
Yeah.
a clutch and a belt, and yeah, it doesn't shift. It's like a go-kart. You just pin
Yeah,
it.
right. So it's just one gear.
Yep.
Huh, that's crazy.
Which back before Polaris, I used to drive for another manufacturer that had gearboxes and whatnot. So it was a little interesting going from something that shifted to essentially going to something that you don't get to shift.
Yeah, okay. Is that I mean, that's a huge difference, obviously. But I mean, not one that is stopping you from winning races.
Yeah, I mean, I think they all have their different
Advantages and disadvantages. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And yeah, I think how the Polaris is set up nowadays, I mean, you don't shift, but I think it definitely has a lot of advantages over being able to shift it.
Yeah. So the first time that you did the Baja 1000, did you solo it not the first time. So you did it with somebody the first time around. How many times have you won it?
The Baja 1000, I've only won it once,
Yeah.
which was this past
This
year.
year,
It's
yeah.
my first time winning it. So, yeah, in the past, I've split it with a handful of people and been close a few times. And, yeah, this year was my first year going at it solo. And, yeah, we were able to get it done.
So apart from the cold, like, what are the other challenges in solo on that thing?
I mean, it's just a long ways. I mean, luckily we had a super clean day. We never got a flat tire that entire time, so we never stopped. I mean, we just kept the wheels on the bus going, and yeah, just clicked through the desert. I think we started around 11 a.m. and I think finished at that following morning. So it definitely was challenging, just watching the sun go down and watching the sun come up kind of scenario, because you realize you just raced all day, all night, all morning, and then now you're kind of going to the finish line. So yeah, it's a long ways. I don't enjoy driving the farthest the most. Like when I get something like, oh, here, drive to LA, it's 4 or 5 hours. It's like, really? Like, or any traffic or anything. I mean, I live in a small town and my traffic is a street light. So like,
Yeah, literally
I hate
no
driving.
traffic. Yeah.
And, but yeah, I mean, I think, that competitive side of me wanted to go out there and, in the past I've had a bad run with kind of splitting it with other people. So I figured, if I'm going to lose the race, if I'm going to lose the race, then I want to lose the race. So that's kind of why I took it in my own hands, and something I've always wanted to do, and hasn't really been done in a competitive fashion in a lot of years. So I wanted to try to rewrite that side of the book and yeah, show that it could maybe still be possible for people.
Yeah, right. That's a massive, massive effort, dude.
Yeah. It was crazy for sure.
Was it hard to stay awake?
No, I was never, tired or anything. The last like 2 pit stops, which all we do is get gas for the most part. That's all you hope, which takes, 30 seconds. Essentially, you got to stop and sit there and they'll throw you drinks or whatever. So the last 2 pits, they just threw me an energy drink and kind of slammed that thing, and down the road I went.
So gnarly.
Yeah, I don't have an energy drink sponsor unless I would give them a little love, but yeah, I mean, I think yeah, it's pretty gnarly. It's probably definitely not the thing I should have drank, after, essentially racing for 15 or 20 hours, but that was something that sounded really good and it paid off.
Did the job.
Yep.
How physical was it? Like, were you completely smoked for the next few days after that?
I was definitely super sore, but when I was down in Mexico kind of prior to the race, I got told I had to go to Dubai to do some Dakar shakedown stuff. So I literally finished the race, Saturday morning, and then pretty much drove to LA right after my race, took a shower, actually I finished the race, drove home, repacked my suitcase, took a shower, and then I got in the car and drove up to LAX, spent the night there, and then I had which I didn't get there till midnight, and then I had a 6 a.m. flight to Dubai. So
Bro,
my direct flight
that's
to
a
Dubai
weird week.
was definitely short because I slept the entire thing. So that side of it was nice, and obviously I was in Dubai. I've never been there, and was able to explore to Dubai and do the training we were doing there for Dakar. So it kind of like, holy cow, I just won the Baja 1000 and did it solo. It kind of blew right over my head because I just flipped the page and it was full focus on Dakar.
Yeah. What'd you think of Dubai?
It was cool. Definitely not what I expected.
It's different,
but yeah, that's a lot of money floating around there. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? You just get on the freeway and there's just like Rolls Royce, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Euros.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
I
everywhere you look.
definitely within a few hours probably seen more sports cars and stuff in a row than I've probably seen my entire life. It's pretty crazy.
Are you a car guy at all?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy cars and whatnot, but I don't have any. Just I have a Ford Raptor, which
That's
go
pretty sick.
figure.
Yeah.
It's kind of yeah.
It's kind of like my dream car too, though, to be honest.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted a fast car and be able to maybe not do things like Hayden Deegan and get in trouble, but
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be fun.
What would be your dream car,
Um,
apart from a Ford Raptor?
yeah, maybe like an Audi or 8 or
All right.
something. Yeah, I've never really entertained that side of it. I think for me, it's like I want a trophy truck. I want to pin it through the desert and do things like that. But yeah, one day I'm sure I'll kind of switch over and maybe get a sports car.
Yeah. I think the Ford Raptor is like probably the moto / off-road
Go-to.
dudes kind of like go to. I just got a normal 150, but there'll be a point someday where I'll get the Raptor.
Yeah.
Are they pretty sick to drive? Like, have you done much off-road stuff in that, or it's like pretty nice? You're pretty nice to it.
No, I'm definitely pretty nice to it. I mean, I definitely slid around corners and gone down bumpy field roads and stuff, but I've it's my daily driver, so I try to keep it nice. That way I can get point A to point B and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. That's one of those things. You get one of those cars, and it's like like the most capable truck, but you're just not gonna.
Yeah.
You're not gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean, the new ones are way nice and expensive, so it's like I'd rather not tear that thing up and go drive my Razor and go tear that up.
What model have you got? Like what year?
I have like the Gen 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely got some miles, Old Faithful, but yeah, maybe one day. I just gotta win a few more races and maybe get a new one.
So yeah, you got like a good bonus structure and stuff like that. So it's just like a factory ride in Supercross where you win Baja 1000, you win Dakar, like you're getting bonuses.
Yeah, I mean it's somewhere we're not, I guess not everyone, but I know Polaris offers up like a bonus program for every
Like
Polaris
a
driver.
contingency,
Yep.
yeah.
So like say you want to go race, you can go win, similar bonus money to what I have. So yeah, obviously we get paid on podium, getting top 3 in races, and then luckily I get a salary as well.
That's crazy, bro. That's just like the dream.
Yeah,
To-
off-road dream.
Especially to go from trophy trucks and be a talent and someone with like a lot of potential, and then have that series like kind of go away, and again be a place where like just no one's really making money. Like you're kind of spending money to be there. Like you kind of found the one place where you can actually be a paid driver in that world.
Yeah, I mean I think that's like the battle with off-road. It's hard to try to make it your job for a lot of people. So yeah, I'm fortunate to be kind of where I am and in the sport, and happy with where I'm at. And yeah, I just want to hopefully maybe be able to go and do different forms of racing, whether it's go and do more rally racing. It seems like there's a lot of competition around that form of racing, and a lot of money. I know like Ford has obviously just put together like a super big rally team, and yeah, I'm hopefully just try to do something maybe different one day.
Yeah, so you think rally's probably the place where you would see yourself going?
Yeah, I mean, I think in a perfect world for me, I want to keep doing what I'm doing now, and obviously fill in the gaps that I'm not racing here in the U.S. or Mexico, and go and race more rally races.
Have you seen the videos of Semenuk in his RZR Rally and that thing? Dude, you know who Brandon Semenuk is? You don't
I
know?
don't think so.
What?
I don't know.
He's Polaris teammate, bro. He is mountain bike, like the god of mountain biking, and he's a Polaris ambassador. But he races rally for Subaru, so he's like won the American Championship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and dude, he has got some of the sickest clips on his Instagram, just fully rallying his Polaris. Like he's just got one that he's set up specifically for training. So yeah, might be a dude you should look at, because he's just, man, epic. Like the way that he drives the RZR in that setting, it just looks so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's hard of like where we race. You know, you don't really get to capture, you know, like certain cool moments that happen. So, yeah, I mean, I think with rally, there's a lot of filming going around that, and a lot of cool things that happen. Yeah, just in general, maybe one day try to create, you know, like a cool Gymkhana video or something in a Polaris.
That's
Do something
cool.
crazy, maybe.
Have you got any ideas for that?
Yeah, I think so. It's just maybe one day put it together. Same time, I think as much as players would maybe want to do it, they're like, no, we want you to race for us. Like, no, you're not going to go do something like that. So till the day maybe I decide to stop racing, I can do it.
Yeah. Or just start making little clips.
Yeah.
Like just start laying the groundwork for it. So you go straight from Baja, no rest, do another probably fucking 10 hours driving, get on a plane, go to Dubai to do your shakedown for Dakar. So was this your first Dakar that you did?
Yep. Yeah, my very first, it was
So you won the very first Dakar that you did.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah. It was kind of a late decision to go and do it. So I didn't really have a lot of time to try to practice on it, because rally racing, they use a road book, and the forms of racing I do, we don't use a road book. So there was a lot of things that were different on that side of things. And yeah, we just kind of got a few little test days in, kind of leading up to it. And it was my very first rally event in general I've ever done. And we were able to go there and, do super good. And thankfully, you know, my co-driver was a little more familiar with it, so he was able to kind of help me throughout the process. Yeah. And it's just, I mean, little things. I'm used to, you know, feet and miles and stuff like that, and it's all kilometers. So just certain little things that was super tough at first, but we pulled it together.
Did you realize that maybe Americans are cooking it by doing feet and miles?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Like coming from Australia, we do kilometers.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer, 10 kilometers. Like this is all divisible very easily. And America, you're just like 800 feet, 3/4 of them. I'm just like, dude, I've lived here long enough now to be used to it. But when I first moved here, I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? 8 3/4 inch. Like how can you build a house when you're spitting out fractions for every single measurement that you're doing?
We just sound smarter that way.
Dude, drives me up the wall. I can't even buy a tape measure here that is normal. You know, like you just everyday average Home Depot tape measure, just like fucking 3 feet, 6 inches and 6/16. I'm just like, bro, what are you talking about? Yeah. So yeah, you got a taste of the good life, living the kilometers and
which was tough. You know, when my co-driver Max was like, "Yeah, we have a hard ride in 10 kilometers." It's like, what is 10 kilometers? You know, like or
that's
whatever.
10,000 meters.
Yeah. So it was a little challenge at first, and then just the whole aspect of road book stuff is crazy. And, you know, the guys on the bikes there, like Ricky and Skylar and the few Americans that are there are actually a nutcase, because it's crazy.
Did you did you know those boys before you went over?
Yeah, a little bit.
Sick.
Yeah, I've kind of known them. And
so you got to, at least there was like some familiar faces around.
Yeah, there's, you know, only a handful of Americans that compete there. So just being one of the few that was there, and that whole side of things was super cool. And then not only that, winning it, essentially being the only one that won it this past year for America was
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you want to try one of these?
I'm good. Thanks. So
I'm gonna
go for it.
Gonna get into it. Yeah. So, what was the biggest surprise, like, of just culture shock, like the race, the car, like, or the Polaris? Like, how different was the experience, and was it almost like just like a weird fever dream the whole 2 weeks, like trying to make it happen?
Yeah, I mean, it was different. I mean, essentially, I race for one stint of a time and I'm done. Like call it San Felipe 250. I race 250 miles in a day or however long it takes, and then I'm done. So the whole beginning was hard because, you know, we had a 200K special, a 400K special. In that process, we have, like, they call it the marathon stage, where it's a pretty big day, and then you can't work on it. You have no parts, and you sleep out in the tent in the middle of nowhere, and then obviously race back to the normal pits. So the beginning was tough because it was like, holy cow, I'm racing more, and, you know, in a span of a week than I race, you know, my
In a year, basically.
year.
Yeah.
So that was definitely super challenging, just trying to kind of pace yourself. I mean, I've never done it, so I didn't know. And I mean, for the first few days, like, we were in some pretty intense battles and kind of banging doors with guys. And then, you know, you'd kind of get through that moment and be like, holy cow, we're day 3 of, you know, essentially 13 days. Like, we still got a long ways to go. So just trying to find that balance of not, you know, going too hard too soon was a challenge. And then, yeah, I mean, we were pretty much in bunk beds. Me and Max shared a bunk bed, little tiny room the entire time. So it was definitely not your idealist sleeping arrangements, and the food there kind of sucked. So
What was the food there mostly?
they would cater food at the thing, but a lot of curry stuff, which it gets old smelling curry. And I'm a super picky eater. I'm pretty cut and dry on when it comes to things.
What's the average week look like for you food wise?
I mean, I love steak, but I'm a big Panda guy.
Panda Express?
Yeah. I eat pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty simple. They had a pasta bar there, so had that pretty much majority of the time. And
Americans don't eat like a very diverse mix of foods for the most part, in comparison to like people in the rest of the world.
Yeah,
I could see that being
like
a bit
anything.
of a.
I always joke with people, like, I don't like produce or anything, and it's like, I don't like it because my dad grows it. I see how it's grown. You guys wouldn't like it either.
Yeah.
I always joke with people, but I'm just pretty cut and dry.
Steak,
and simple.
burgers, Panda Express, Chipotle.
Yep.
In and out.
Yep.
Simple.
Yeah, everything
that they
I shouldn't eat.
Everything that they didn't have in a bivouac in Saudi Arabia.
In the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a super empty country.
Yeah, there's not
much to offer.
Yeah, not a lot going on.
Just desert.
Is there some pretty beautiful parts to it though that you saw?
No, I mean, all we seen was desert for the most part. Nothing like super crazy, I would say. In Baja in Mexico, we see like a lot cooler desert and up in the mountains and cool things like that. But yeah, Saudi Arabia, it's just flat desert as far as you can see, and no matter what kind of terrain you're in, whether you're in the sand, it's sand as far every which way you can see all day, or when you get into kind of rocky sections, it's that for days and days.
It's wild, eh? Yeah. Have you ever seen any of the stuff that they're building there? The line they're building. That,
I've seen
crazy
like in the
city?
airport they had a bunch of pictures and what their plan is, which is crazy.
They're fully building it. Like it's fully a thing.
Yeah.
It's fucking mental, bro.
I probably won't ever go and visit it, maybe for a while, because it's like I've essentially been there now, and it's like there's nothing there, like there's no way. So I'm sure when it's actually a done thing, I'm gonna be like, how? Like there's no way this country is empty. They don't have nothing, you know. So it's probably gonna take me a while to before I decide to go back and vacation there.
Yeah, yeah. But you'll go back. I'm assuming you're kind of signed up to keep going back there for the Dakar.
A little bit, not for a long time. Just kind of keeping that side open, and was kind of busy putting together my U.S. side of contract stuff, and haven't quietly nailed something long term down there
for the Dakar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was the racing a bit more door to door than what you would see in like a Baja or something?
Not quite. I mean, I think there you get pretty spread out because you have a lot of long days. You're obviously trying to race for, I raced over 5,000 miles in the span of that week. So, like, you're not going crazy day one and breaking all your stuff because then you're done. Versus in Baja, it's more, we're racing that one day and you're going to go, whether you make it or you don't. You just kind of go for it. And if you don't make it, well, oops, I'll try again at the next race, But yeah, I mean, I would say on a competitive side of going for it and racing flat out, we definitely go for it more here in the U.S. and Mexico side of things.
Did you have any sketchy moments or like close calls in the Dakar, or were you able to kind of like cruise through it?
Yeah, I mean, we had a few days there at the beginning. We got into some dunes and obviously just kind of shot off of them a little faster than we would have wanted and flew down to the bottom and was like, holy cow, that was a close one. But
So you had the finger on the panic button the whole time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she was tapped out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, you have your moments. I mean, you're racing for 5,000 miles of the desert trying to, kind of go flat out. It definitely had its moments, but as we got towards the end, it was definitely on cruise control. We kind of got ourselves into a hour to 2 hour window of a lead, and it was obviously just managing that.
Was that a weird feeling to be in that position where you, like, Baja, I mean, you do get a lead in Baja, but it probably feels different in that context of Dakar.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, in Baja, we would not often be able to stretch a 2 hour lead. I mean, that's just not super, super, wouldn't be something that would happen like that. Versus like Dakar, I mean, you could go and click, say you go win by 20 minutes every day. By the end, you're going to have a massive lead. In Baja, I have had, bigger leads, and, in the moment, you don't really think about it, and you don't really think about how quick that could end, because I think it's just kind of shorter, and you finish that race no matter how you did, if you did good or you broke, and you're just always flipping the page to the next one. Versus Dakar, it happens once a year, and yeah, you have 13 days to be the best you can be every single day and get to the finish line. And if you don't make it to the finish line, then you have to wait, exactly
Another
year to go
yeah.
and race that race.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a wild deal, eh? Like, did you know much about it before you went and did it?
A little. I mean, I followed it, but I never followed it a lot. I never thought I would get the opportunity to go, so I obviously followed it, but never was like, oh my God, I'm gonna do what I have to do to make it there one day. But when I kind of signed with Polaris, that option was there, and obviously took it with open arms and wanted to go there and try to do the best I could do.
Yeah. Do you have like a different perspective on the race now that you've done it?
Yeah, I mean, I used to always think like, oh, it's a long ways and and whatnot, but like, oh, it's probably like a freeway. It's super easy. Like, it's probably nothing crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely the gnarliest thing I have done in that span of time, and and racing, a vehicle to that capacity, it was definitely eye-opening. And not only that, I mean, there's, days that you have a 300-mile drive just to get to the start line.
The stage, yeah.
And then you might have, 300 miles to go back just to, take a shower. So I was like, oh, it can't be that bad, but it definitely gets old of just sitting there and driving along the road and whatnot. But, we would always see a motorcycle or pass a motorcycle cruising down the road, and I would always joke with my co-driver Max, like, it could be a lot worse. Like,
yeah.
we could freaking have to imagine sitting on a motorcycle seat for, that duration of time. It's like, holy cow, it's crazy.
What were you doing to pass the time? Did you have AirPods or like any music or anything like that? Just straight raw dogging it?
Yeah, we, you can't have a phone in your car, so
because of GPS.
Yep. So there's a lot of rules there, and yeah, we just drove down the road and just joked. I mean, that's luckily I had a co-driver. Unlike a moto guy, they're solo, which I think they kind of have it figured out to try to get some music and stuff like that. But it's my first time there, and I didn't know what to expect, so we just we just joked on the road, just kind of like this, and kept her going.
What were you thinking about on the road? Like, I'm sure your mind's just wandering the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, depending how the day went, was obviously kind of reflecting on that, and just kind of every day at the end, it was just flipping the page and trying to. Obviously, we were just trying to get better. It was his first time riding with me, and my first time there, so it was a lot of just kind of going back through our road book and looking at where we messed up at, and trying to figure out how we can fix that. Going down the road into future days. So a lot of homework.
You're just a hard-working dude, eh? Like, you don't really overcomplicate shit. You just kind of like do the work, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to put my best foot forward, and hopefully it's my right foot, which is the gas, and just put my best foot forward and just try to go out there and compete.
I'm excited to announce our new partnership with the leaders in custom eyewear, SportRx.com. I've had to wear glasses since I was a kid, and my whole life the process of getting custom glasses made was just a hassle. Not only this, I've never experienced what it was like to do all of the activities I love with perfect vision, but that is a thing of the past. SportRx's whole goal as a company is to make sure that vision never keeps you from doing what you love, and I can safely say that they have completely changed the game for me. SportRx crafts your eyewear not only for your optimum prescription, but also for your sport, the environment, conditions, and specific lighting. I now have glasses for running, for mountain biking, for golf, and I now have glasses for my Oakley Airbrake motocross goggles. Look at these bad boys. The process of getting my glasses made and delivered was extremely simple, and the emphasis that the team at SportRx put on quality and customer satisfaction is second to none. They even offer a free remake and return policy if you're not completely satisfied. Every now and again, something comes along that completely blows my mind, and SportRx has done that. You'll see me wearing a host of new glasses if you follow the podcast, and you can be sure that they were crafted by the team at SportRx. Head to sportrx.com or click the link in the description to find out more. Do you reckon there's something to do with like growing up on the farm, the way that you grew up, that just kind of like taught you how to work hard from a real young age?
Yeah, I mean, working around the farm, I mean, it's long hours, involved around that. So I think it's just kind of, I'm born and raised around trying to work hard and yeah, obviously just try to make the most out of every opportunity you get, and trying to be the best version you can be of yourself.
What was it like your dad was actively saying that sort of stuff to you when you were a kid, or do you reckon you just kind of picked it up from how hard he would work? Or
Yeah,
because I think a lot of people, like even still, like just later in their life, they just don't have the work ethic that you have, and you just go about it in such like a simple, easy way, you know?
Yeah, I mean, my dad was a hard worker, and um, he never really beat it into me that I need to be XYZ. I think it's just
You just
I
kind of
just kind of
learned
picked
it.
it up on my own, and yeah, I've just always enjoyed racing and always had a passion for it. So I just try to, maximize what I can do and yeah, put my best foot forward.
Yeah, can you see that like other people around you that like didn't grow up that way, like they just don't have the same sort of thing?
Um, yeah, no, I mean, I think obviously everyone's different. I think, growing up and racing, I think just having, being around, a lot of good people like Jeremy. I mean,
Yeah.
he kind of helped me with, my career of racing kind of progress a lot. And to this day, I mean, he still helps me with, I try to, ask him for advice in doing certain deals. And I think it's just been a lot of kind of who I've surrounded myself around and making smart decisions and being around companies and people that have the same goal as me, which is winning.
He's such a good dude, Jeremy?
Yeah. I was I had for a while there. I was cleaning up his ranch there and doing a bunch of tractor work. So it was definitely weird driving a tractor around MC's ranch and doing stuff like that when normally it's like, there's a track right there. I should be driving around that or
Yeah.
hitting those jumps. But yeah, I love MC, love his family. They're all super good people.
Yeah, he's one of those people where you don't think he would be as cool in real life, or like you don't think it's possible that he would be as cool in real life as you made him out to be as a kid when he was the king of Supercross. And then you hang out with him and you're like, fuck, you're the king. Like, you're just the coolest dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm younger, so, his days in motocross, I was never, old enough
you
to
weren't
be
like
super
across it,
involved.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's obviously cool being around him, looking at everything he's done, and then just the straight up guy that he is now, and yeah, always there to try to help where he can.
So, what do you think the next few years looks like for you?
Yeah, I think sticking to racing the races I've been racing. I think the next few years definitely going to be doing that, and then yeah, hopefully maybe trying to do Dakar again or do more rally events and stuff like that. So nothing super duper exciting, but yeah, it's going to be kind of the same thing for the next few years.
Yeah. So, when's the Mint 400? You got me interested.
It just happened 2 weeks ago.
Damn it.
Yep.
Did you win that?
Yep.
When was the last time you lost a race?
When was that? June? Yeah, last June.
What happened?
I don't know, actually. I think I got second.
It's just straight up,
I had
someone beat you? Or
I had a
something?
shock. I think I had a shock go out. We changed that.
Mm.
And then a flat tire. So I think, I don't know, I try not to think back at races. Yeah, I just keep turning the page and just looking forward to the next one and try to go there and compete.
So, you guys, what do you carry spare on the vehicle?
We carry one tire and wheel and then a rear axle.
Yeah.
That's it.
But so to do a shock change, like how did you do a shock change?
We had to just limp it for a few miles down the road, and then there was the chase crew and a chase truck out in the middle of the desert.
So you
that had
actually
parts on a
can.
truck.
So if something like that happens, you can go to a
Yeah.
chase truck or whatever, grab what you need to grab.
Yeah, Mexico, it's pretty much free reign as long as you're off of the course. You can have people wherever you want with parts wherever you want. In the U.S., it's kind of dedicated pits, and you don't need the as much people to race in the U.S. because your pit doesn't move, versus in Mexico. I mean, we'll go down the whole peninsula and have to move pits throughout the race and fill up the car or assist wherever it may need assistance.
Yeah. How much has Mexico changed in the years that you've been doing it? Like in terms of like the country in general, and like, do you see the situation there get like better and safer, or does it feel like sketchier?
I would say it's safer. I mean, I haven't, I didn't race down there in the 2000s or the mid, 2000s. I think nowadays, in the past few years I've raced down there, I think it's definitely gotten safer. There's there's military and cops everywhere, especially around race week. And yeah, I mean, I think going down there outside of a race weekend is probably a different experience, but around race week it's pretty darn safe.
Do you go down there and do like a bunch of pre-running and stuff?
Normally we'll just kind of go the weekend before and spend a little time there. Everyone kind of does their own thing. Some people go for 2-3 weeks and pre-run, but yeah, I just kind of go right before the race and yeah, hopefully maybe go around the course 2 times if I can in a perfect day. And yeah, I've done kind of some fun riding, just kind of exploring Baja and that side of things a few times, but
On
haven't
bike
done it in a
or in
while.
the...
I've done it in both. The
Yeah.
last time I did it was actually with Jeremy McGrath.
Sick.
We did a ride after one of our short course races. A group of us went on a ride, which was super cool.
Yeah. How much of it can you remember?
Of like the track?
Yeah.
Not all. I mean, majority, I think, especially with racing it for a few years. For the most part, the tracks don't change a ton. If we're going through a certain section, it's probably gonna be similar in a way. It might, at the Y, it might go left instead of right, and it's like, oh, that's kind of new. But at some point, it becomes similar. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know. Maybe other people remember it a lot better, but I feel, I don't remember it super good. And the times I do remember it super good, I feel like I always go slower because I think I know it too well versus just kind of reading it as it comes and going about it that way.
Yeah. Do you get into like a real flow state when you're driving stuff that you kind of haven't seen before, but you don't really remember? Like where you're just not really thinking, you're just fully kind of floating through it?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I would say I'm pretty focused throughout the day, and there's times, you kind of think back on a certain thing and you're like, what? I don't really remember it, but yeah, it's just a lot of miles you cover and, you obviously can't remember it all.
Yeah, you're just zoned in, just trying to stay in the zone kind of deal. So the Min 400 just went, so I missed the boat. So I'd have to wait 12 months. Or is there any other good races at the end of the year? I don't really want to go to Mexico.
King of the Hammers is a fun event,
That's just going to
and that's in February.
Yeah. That's right in the middle of Supercross season. I think it was Phoenix this year.
Yep,
Phoenix
it was,
Supercross.
yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't go out to it. I actually would have gone if it wasn't that weekend.
Yeah, we have Vegas to Reno.
Yeah,
It comes in Vegas. I think it's in August.
that's all right. Is that a fun one?
Yeah, I mean it's a straight race, so we start in Vegas, essentially just outside of Vegas, and go to pretty much Reno. So it's kind of hard to watch because it's kind of a chase race. But yeah, the Man or King of the Hammers are some fun events that we go to. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other ones.
Mint
That's
400
kind of
probably
all we
sounds
got.
like the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you been following the Supercross season?
Yeah, a little bit.
How much?
I was, and then it
Kind of fizzled out.
kind of got a little quiet, a little boring. Kind of stepped away from it a little, but yeah, it seems 250 East-West shootouts have been good recent. It's
Yeah.
been fun watching those, and yeah.
It's a bummer how the season kind of
Yeah.
goes down a bit. I was talking about it with a
Yeah,
friend
there's
the
a lot
other
of
day.
hurt riders, sadly.
It's just crazy, eh? Like, and I just don't even know, like, what they could do to
Yeah.
make it safer. Like, I think, yeah, maybe 17 rounds in a row with one weekend off is probably just too much.
Yeah. Yeah, they race a lot, you know, in a short amount of time for sure.
Yeah. Who are you got for the 450 title?
I want to say Sexton. I mean, I think he's kind of had his fair share of issues, and I wouldn't say he's the underdog because he's pretty darn good on a motorcycle, but he's obviously not leading the points, and at this rate, I would say he's a little more of the underdog, and I like good competition, so it'd be cool to kind of see him make that push back.
So I think it's 12 points now, and there's 4 races to go. And if you finish first, you get 3 extra points.
Yeah.
So
He's got it.
that means he would have to win
It's
every
gotta be
race.
flawless, though.
Yeah, he'd have to win every race, but he would win on a countback
Yeah.
because he would have won. If he got to that point, he would have won more races.
Who do you
Coop.
got?
Well, I said Coop way back when. As
Yeah.
soon
So
as,
you're sticking with it.
well, you know, it's hard not to, once you say it, you kind of got to stick with it. But yeah, I mean, they got New York this weekend. Then they got, is it Philly this weekend?
I don't know.
Either way, they got Philly, they got New York, they got Denver, and they got Salt Lake. Webb, remember when Webb first won the title? He fucking smoked that Salt Lake race.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe. But I mean, Sexton's definitely faster than him when he's no issues
wheels.
on the bike, not crashing.
Yeah.
So, normally the fastest guy wins, but Webb's won 2 titles without being the fastest guy. So, I don't know. All it takes is one mistake from Sexton, and it's over. So, in my head, I'm like, dude, in 4 races, will Chase make one mistake? That's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. It's coming, you know, down at the end, and 2 really good motorcycle riders, and obviously they're just trying to lay it all out on the line and make it happen.
Who do you think in the 250s? I mean, Deegan's probably going to get the West Coast unless something super weird happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know, maybe Julian will take him out, but
Yeah.
definitely I got Hayden there, and then I think the other side of the 250 stuff is shaping out to be a pretty cool points battle. I mean, I think what is there, 3 or 4 of them all within a few points, kind of going for it. So it's kind of sparking me wanting to watch it a little bit more, just because it's getting a little more competitive, and looking forward to how that plays out.
How do you get to watch many of them? Like, do you actually go to many of the races?
Just kind of when they're here.
Yeah.
You know, when we got back from Dakar, they had us come out Supercross with the trophy, so I was able to go to one of the Anaheims, and then
Sick.
went to San Diego, and those are the only ones I've been to this year.
Yeah. San Diego was fucking unreal, dude. That was maybe one of the best Supercross races I've ever been to. And I've been to a ton of them at this point. But seeing Jet and Eli, Jet was definitely not 100% comfortable, and Eli looked 100% comfortable. But yeah, that was such a sick race. I never thought I would actively cheer that loud against Jet either.
Yeah.
Like being an Aussie, but seeing Eli just in full flight, dude, I was like, bro, because we didn't know if we'd ever see him
Those two,
like that again, you know, and then we'd never really got the crazy out front battle between those two in a 20 minute main event. It was fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, I think outdoors will be interesting. I think you know, if a lot of people probably coming back for outdoor season, and yeah, it'll be fun to watch everyone kind of back at it.
Even Prado.
Yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah.
He is riding today, first time.
Oh, wow.
So he's got, what are we in? Mid-April. So he's got like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Which is like, I mean, he's been training the whole time, obviously. Gets back on the bike, gets the bike set up. Him versus, like, let's say Jet never got hurt and raced all Supercross season. You wouldn't think that Prado would be able to touch him coming off injury. But the fact that they're both coming off injury, and Jet's probably only going to have like a few weeks on the bike, like that severely levels the playing field. So
yeah, it'll be cool.
You
See
think
how that all plays out.
You got Eli back, Webb, Sexton, Hunter will be back, Prado. Don't know if Roxon's going to do. I don't know how many. I'm sure he's going to have to do some for like the SMX points. But yeah, that's going to be an insanely stacked field, dude, for outdoors.
Yeah, it should play out to be, I think, cool, because obviously Jet's kind of been superior in outdoors recent, but he's also been super healthy and fit kind of going into it. So I think now it's going to kind of shape up to him obviously not being super fit, you know, with coming off that injury and being able to go out there and race.
So do you follow any other forms of motorsport like much, or that's kind of the main one?
That's kind of it. I mean, I'll watch F1 here and there, obviously watch the documentary, but yeah, I don't really follow much, just kind of follow what I can and race the races I race, and work when I can as well.
What else are you doing in your downtime?
Yeah, I mean, I have a girlfriend, so obviously hanging out with her and going to we like to go to Padre games, you know, as much as we can.
Yeah.
So doing things like that, but besides that, it's either racing, working, or, you know, doing things with her.
Just locked in. What's your main jobs on the farm? It's just like tractor work, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, like, you know, what's kind of going on and with the racing, and if I have like a month off or 2 months off, then that'll kind of determine what I do or how deep I get myself into it.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever like to start a project and not finish it. So it just kind of depends on how that side of things are going. But yeah, I mean, I would say majority of the time I try to drive, you know, some form of a tractor, doing things like that, or seems like I'm always doing like hay stuff, so driving a hay baler or picking up hay bales, doing stuff like that.
How long do you reckon no one has to do any of that shit?
I mean, I think there's a lot of technology coming into that already. It's just I don't know how California would treat that. So
really, in what way?
I mean, it's autopilot. I mean, there's stuff where, you know, I could sit here and drive the tractor, but we haven't messed with that kind of technology, so I don't know what they're gonna approve or not. I mean, it's a mass amount of money to try to go that route in agriculture, so I'm probably not gonna get to play with that for a while, and yeah, we'll see how it works out.
It's crazy though, eh? Like the level of the autopilot stuff, the auto tractors, like I'm sure that there's auto balers, and like you'd have to think, like, did you ever watch Interstellar?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude, you should watch it. Have you heard of that movie?
Mm-mm.
There's a sick movie called Interstellar, and it's basically like they travel to space to save the world, basically. But it's like by Christopher Nolan, the same dude that made the Batman, like the Dark Knight movies. So anyway, it's epic. But the whole thing is like this dystopian kind of it's in the future, and basically like the Earth got completely fucked by global warming, and now all they can grow is corn, basically. But all of the farming is just done autonomously. And so like the only thing the farmers do is like basically make sure that the machines keep farming properly. But they're all, and it's dude, it's pretty cool. But yeah, like they're just literally, there's these big green John Deeres, and the guy's just like programming his tractors just to make sure that they keep doing the right shit, basically. But we're probably not going to be that far away from that, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's coming super soon. I know a company just released like it's kind of like a weeding thing in organic fields, a machine that's using laser to kill weeds, and then they just came out with a autopilot function on the tractor, and they have like a command center back at their headquarters that will help kind of steer the tractor in the right direction if there's any issues. So I mean, it's here. It's just it would be cool to maybe one day get my hands on something along those lines.
Do you reckon that you'll take over the farm and it'll be something that you'll keep doing forever? Or you could see a world where you don't do that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it's an option, at some point, but for now it's just I'm gonna, keep working around the farm and hopefully keep racing and yeah, I mean maybe one day racing might become a little more full time where I'm doing that and trying to go for it in that direction, but or vice versa. I mean, it might end, and I might need to figure out a career path on outside of that. So for now, it's just gonna keep doing the both and make the most of it.
So what's next? What's next for you in terms of racing for the rest of 2025?
Yeah, so we have about a month and a half, and then we have the Baja 500.
Yep.
Which is 500-mile race, and then
you won that the last time you did it?
Nope, that was the last one. No, I didn't win it.
All right, so we're coming back for redemption.
Back, yeah,
I love it.
And then
the underdog
we have
story.
Vegas to Reno, which is down in August, and then Baja 400, and then come November we have the Baja 1000.
Yeah. What's the most enjoyable of the Baja races for you?
Winning, for sure.
Yeah, but which one do you like racing better?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Baja 400's a fun race. They don't drop us down into the desert like San Felipe desert, which is kind of like level playing field is like where I live, so it's hot, in the summer. You kind of stay up more in the mountains and driving along the coast. So I enjoy that. I enjoy that.
Yeah. Okay. And so what's your testing and practice schedule? Do you practice much at home or?
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, I would say I did more practicing than I would say nowadays. Nowadays, I mean, if we have any planned tests and trying to make the Polaris better or shaking down parts, I mean, that's all I kind of do, and then straight to the race. So nowadays, not much practice. I, here and there, I'll try to maybe do some stuff, but besides that, just kind of show up and race.
Just grip it and rip it.
Yep.
Well, dude, this has been really cool. I actually learned a lot about this whole world that I had absolutely no real idea. I just didn't realize how far along.
How loose it is?
Well, more how far along the vehicles have gotten.
Yeah.
It really seems like they're pretty amazing these days.
Yeah, one of these days we'll have to get you out and come ride in one.
Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking about the Min 400. Have you ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Mm-mm.
Nothing. Do you watch many movies?
Not often, no. Honestly, I don't.
There's it was a book first. This guy Hunter S. Thompson, and he was one of the most famous journalists in US history and riders. He ended up becoming he was like the governor of his town in Colorado. Crazy fucking dude. Ended up blowing his brains out. Just planned a suicide, planned his own funeral. He's a fucking wild dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, he wrote this article around the Mint 400 where he basically went to Vegas to cover this race for a magazine and wrote, spent the whole time just doing acid and all, and all this shit and wrote about the Mint 400, but it was mostly about Vegas and the American obsession with Vegas.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Mint 400's always been a thing where I'm I would like to check that out one day, just in honor of Hunter S. Thompson. Yeah. So maybe
Are you gonna live up to how he wrote it?
Probably not. No. Dude, there's
Smart.
there's some crazy. It's the movie's got Johnny Depp in it. And yeah, they just start on the road to Vegas and they're just doing acid and cocaine the whole way to Vegas. So I'd probably rather just race it as a serious race guy. Is it fun to do in a stock buggy? You could do the bare minimum and have fun doing it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think at the Mint when you do the super bare minimum and race what they would consider a sportsman class, you don't quite do as many laps as we would.
Yeah.
You're still kind of racing within us, but you don't do as many laps. And yeah, I mean, I think you'd still enjoy it just as much as we did. Yeah, I mean, we can get you set up with the right car and equipment. That way you can go out there and do every lap that you can and get to the finish line, and you probably enjoy it a lot more than sitting out in the middle of nowhere, which maybe you would. I mean, you get to see, be watching a race that you don't get to watch at. So
it'd be sick.
Could be cool there as well.
It'd be sick to drive. So, do you have a co-driver for that?
Yep.
And do you swap? You don't swap drivers. It's just you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. I wonder if I could talk my wife into co-driving.
Yeah.
That would be the worst.
Yeah.
She'd be telling me to slow down at every single possible moment.
I mean, you don't have to have one. You could race solo if you want. So there's no rule on how many people you have to have in the car.
See,
you could maybe get a 4-seater, grab 3 other people maybe. I don't quite know how that rule works, but I think you can.
Do you like the 4-seater over the 2-seater? Is it a bit more balanced because there's more weight and a bit more wheelbase, or?
Yeah, I mean,
do you ever race the 4-seater, or is it
No.
only the 2-seater? Yeah, okay.
Only the 2. I mean, the 4, I think it's fun for being able to take people and do things. They're still obviously super sporty at doing everything and sometimes smoother, but yeah, with the 2-seater, I mean, they're just kind of a lot more fun for me and a lot more reactive to every input you put into it.
Yeah, and probably a lot more power to weight.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Jumps are funner in 2-seater. They jump better and whatnot.
Sick. You sold me.
2-seater or 4?
2.
Which one I sell you? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm done.
They're way funner.
Mint 400 next year.
Do it.
Yeah, let's go, dude. Thanks for making the trip. This was really cool. This is a world that I knew nothing about, so it was definitely cool. And man, you're a crazy it's wild to see a guy that does such a crazy thing and goes so fast and is so pinned, but is so mellow and just down to earth and chill. Those things normally don't go together in the way that they do with you. So it's pretty cool, man. And I'm gonna look forward to watching over the next few years just to see how your career progresses and where you go from there.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here, and yeah, hopefully one day we can, whether you come right in the right seat with me or get you out to a race, and yeah, looking forward to the next few years and just trying to keep on holding it pinned.
Sick, bro. Let's do both.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.